Hi everybody, this is Tim from Boatshed Yacht Brokers, and I'm going to take you for a different tour, but around the same boat. So this 1990 Moody Eclipse 43, looking lovely in the sun, and we'll just talk about the ifs, nots and the wherefores, etc, how she is, how her layout is, etc, around the whole boat, just to give you an idea. So as you can see, we're standing off the port quarter here, and we have a Moody 43. We have got all sorts of enhancements and modifications and strengthening features to enable this boat to cross the Atlantic, etc, which she has done several times, I believe, and she's probably been further afield than that. So we've got the big radar arch at the back with all sorts of lights, search lights on top, even a blue police light. We've got the radar array there, we've got solar panels, all sorts of things there designed to make life safer and easier at sea. We've got stereo speakers inset into it, looks like we have power plugs, etc. And on the stern you can see we've got in the sugar scoop, we've got the companionway ladder coming down to really what is a lovely great big swim panel, swimming platform there. Sorry, I got my lingo wrong there. We have a cupboard here, which I think is probably an aftermarket affair, a window down to the aft cabin here, but a really nice big swim platform with also an outboard bracket there too, to give you that auxiliary engine possibility should you wish to have an emergency engine standing by there, one of the right sort of size and power. So let's hop on board. I'll go onto the swim platform and across, which does feel lovely and strong. And when we get on board, we can see we've got a lovely great big cockpit here, lots of seating for people, big wheel, big fresh looking compass. We've got the autopilot in front and the throttle down to the right hand side here, plenty of room, plenty of steel to grab hold of here, looking very comfy. And of course you can steer from down below as well in that adverse weather. To the left and the right of me, we've got these fold down seats which look very comfy, very sturdy as well, so somewhere else to sit, possibly out of the sun or a little bit behind where the helm is sitting on this area here. But very nice and easy to get through this companionway, up and over and around past the cockpit lookers on this side, or past the seating on this side, which forms the deck head of the cabin below, round to the companionway and forwards to wherever you're going. Very good indeed. So just looking on the port side of the cockpit, you can see we've got two great big self-tailed winches here, same on the starboard side, and we've got good sized halyard winches on the coach roof there with the brakes, so looking good for controlling the sails from the cockpit. So that may mean that you don't need to go up forwards if you don't want to, whether it's calm or in a blow, and you can stay in the cockpit and operate the sails, which is always a very, very nice thing. There's the view forwards. If I'm the helm, standing at the helm, I'd say that's probably the view forwards through the spray hood there, so good view all around, and you've got a nice deep and very high spray hood as well. So I do view these as a bit of a lifesaver, because that can keep a lot of spray, water, etc. off if you're sailing in a certain direction, so could lengthen that time before things like hypothermia set in, etc. We have strengthening bars across the window for obvious reasons. We've got a very beefed up companionway door there, so the preparations have been done for long-term circumnavigation, that kind of thing, which I really like. And we've got really lovely high guardrails around the cockpit, as I've just noticed, and there's always something to hang on to as well. Very good indeed. Lovely beefy davit there, so if you've got a dinghy, that's where we're going to be getting it in and out. And you can see we've got an engine for the dinghy that may be supplied with this boat. I would need to check, but we have an outboard stowage there again just by the davit, which is really good news. So let's have a look around the upper deck. Very nice and easy to get out, so it's up and over and onto the side deck. You can see we've got a garden gate here with provisions for some kind of ladder to fit, and there's a view down the starboard side. Nice wide decks, very nice and easy to get along, quite reasonably high guard wise as well. You may notice we've got a centre cleat there, which I love. There's the length or the extent of the spray hood there. Do the few repairs here, but I think that there's a bit of life left in this. And you can see we've got a lovely long grab rail which goes all the way along the deck saloon roof, which is really good. And there's the actual roof of the deck saloon in itself. So we've got the hatch port and starboard to let light and air ventilation in and out, etc. And you can see we've got the main sheet here is on the coach roof here, so that's out of the cockpit, which means that it's one less thing to worry about at sea. And you can see the height of the boom there means that you would probably need to be about 7 feet tall if you're standing on the cockpit sole in there. So banging your head should be a lot more difficult on this boat, but you obviously always need to take take that into account when you're sailing and when you're doing those jibes, etc, etc. Now you can see we've got hard windows here, which is great, so they're not going to go off in the sun. We don't need to be replacing the spray hood windows every couple of years, so these should stand up to a little bit of abuse, as should the windows. So we've got big windows here, but you'll notice that we have got provision here for covers on those, for storm covers, etc, etc. So she is prepared for the weather. Now let's go forwards a little bit, and you can see the plethora of running rigging here. Some of it looks quite old though. You might want to think about replacing that, but we have 1 or 2 winches on the mast. We've got in-mast furling, which some like, some don't, but if you're world cruising, I should think that will really add to the convenience on this boat. And there's the big forward-looking windows to give you a view forwards, let light in, and also give you a view forward from the helm down below, and a general view when you're sitting having your dinner, etc. Here's the foredeck, or well, actually this is a coach roof to the forward accommodation, which lends its way towards the foredeck. But you can see it's a little bit easier to step inside the shrouds, and probably safer too, because you can grab onto these as you step past rather than going outside of them. Just a 6-inch step up onto the coach roof here, past the 2 hatches which allow light and ventilation down below, as does this one here, and then you're onto the foredeck, which, as you can see, lovely, great big foredeck, plenty of room for deck chairs, for carrying a dinghy or another dinghy, or anything else you might wish to transport along with you. Lovely big hatch here as well for ventilation and light down below. Nice cupboard there. That's an aftermarket affair on the foredeck. And if we just move forward, we can see we've got the cutter rig here. So we've got 2 furlers, which is lovely. We have a nice seat on the pulpit there, and we've got this stainless protection here all over the deck, which is probably another great afterthought to protect the deck from the whacking great big chain here. Big anchor sitting in the bow roller there, and as you can see, we can control from here too. Lovely big electric winch, fantastic. I'll just go forwards, and you can see along the length of the boat, there we go, looking lovely and shiny and white in this sun. And we'll go back to the cockpit along the port side, which is pretty much a mirror image of the starboard side. So I'm just coming inside the shrouds there, and we'll duck around this bit of we've got running backstays on this boat too. There's the coach roof from this angle. You can see the main sheet again, and the screen and the spray hood there. So again, on the port side, we've got a nice garden gate here, and you can see we've got very sturdy guardrails here, backed up by strengthening beams here, etc. All looking great. And then it's an easy hop over into the cockpit, and we're almost back where we started. So what we'll do is we'll go down below and have a look around there as well. So here we go. So through the very well beefed up companionway doors, so they lock up nice and secure wherever you are. Everything feels beefy on this boat. And here's a view down below. So this is the view looking forward from the companionway just as you come down. And what we'll do is we'll just turn right or to starboard and look inside this door where we find the after cabin. So there we go. Now we have a nice big lobby here, somewhere to sit and change your foulies or clothes, or pull your wellies on and off, etc. Cupboard outboard, shelves outboard, and if I just hop in, you can see we have a little ensuite sink there, and I'll sit on the seat, and there's a nice big bed. Actually, it is a nice big bed, and we're not feeling claustrophobic like we do in a lot of aft cabins where this area here is really low. There's a decent room under there for somebody to sleep. As you can see, we've got 2 opening windows, one on the transom and one into the cockpit, so light and air coming down here. Good head height up here, and generally speaking, a very nice area to be. I can see, look, we look like we have storages here, stowage aft, possibly access to the steering gear there, and I'm sure there's more stowage, stroke batteries, etc. underneath the berth there. So let me just close the door to the cabin, and I'll see if I can show you the engine compartment single-handedly. You won't be able to see much of that without light on, but that's where the engine is. So we have access inside this cabin, and it looks like a very useful addition for those countries probably where we have really high ambient temperature. So we've got that additional cooling fan there, which could be a really great addition. Now coming out of the cabin, we step up. Nice floor, and on the starboard side we've got basically a lobby. We've got a TV, as you can see. We've got the great view outside, which is what deck saloons are all about. Lovely high head height, so well over 6 feet here where I'm standing, and you can see we've got cupboards and drawers. We've got the electrical isolator. We've got all sorts of bits and pieces, access to the bilge down below here, probably some more stories down there to be confirmed. And moving forward from there, you can see we've got the lower steering position. So on the outboard side, we've got a big ICOM unit, old school GMDSS by the looks of it. We've got shelves, etc. We've got the battery charger down here. Nice big helm down here. That's the view forwards from the helm where I'm standing. So that's the view to watch keep while you're down here. And I'll just turn all the way around so you can see that obviously from the stern of the view aft is more cluttered because of the companionway, etc. But good view all the way around. Starting at the top, got a little hatch here, so ventilation for the helm. Up here we've got GPS, we've got water, I think that's a water level alarm. We've got GPS, sorry, I'll start again. We've got navigation, I'll start again, even a VHF here with DSC. And looking down here, you can see we've got engine start, stop, warnings and alarms. We've got an electronic compass, we've got depth, we've got speed over ground, and we've got a compass here which looks a bit dry to me. Looks like fuel tank content indicator on the right here. We've got a Lowrance and Garmin unit and a forward looking sounder there, just what it says on the tin, and one or two extra little bits and pieces and some electric switches, engine throttle, and a good sized navigation station there. So if you're going to be navigating with paper charts, you can still do it on there, which I really like. One or two extra gauges down here, a few more switches. Pretty good area, I would say. Very nice indeed. Let's carry on looking forwards. Now we go down a couple of steps here into the galley area, so let's do that. Nice and easy, always something to hang on to, and good width as well, so you're not feeling too cramped, etc. Here's the galley, it's U-shaped. What have we got here? We've got a bin locker, we've got a double sink unit. Nestling in here, I think we probably have a fridge unit. We've got cupboards, we've got more cupboards, we've got a drawer, we've got twin burners, a grill and an oven here, more cupboards up here, access to the rear of the instrument panel, which I think is really important, and a microwave there and a fridge down below there too. Just looking up here, you can see we've got heater control, etc, etc, all rather good. And of course lots of light in here because of the massive windows above us, and a little hatch there which is going to let any cooking fumes out, etc. So a really good workable entrance, workable compartment where if we're standing here looking to the starboard side, very nice and easy to take food up there and also bring the dirty plates back down here, etc. We have an aircon vent here as well, so this boat is fitted with aircon. I will have to establish if it's functioning or not, but it is there. So if we carry on forward, we can see we've got the compression post here, so we're looks like we're bilge stepped, or keel stepped, sorry. Access to the bilge down there, a couple of covers there, and here we've got, through this door, we've got one of the aft cabins, sorry, one of the forward cabins, nice cupboard and a vanity unit here. We've got a hatch above us, two opening windows on the port side, shelves, and a nice pair of twin beds, and it looks like these probably do make into a double too. There's the aircon unit. And down here we have actually got really good headroom, so nice cabin all round, and somewhere that I wouldn't be afraid of spending a bit of time in. Really good. So just coming out of there and moving forwards, we'll open the port side door here, and you can see we've got one of the heads here. So this head is aft facing. We have the sink on the port side here, mirrors all over the place, and you can see the shower on the aft bulkhead reflected in the mirror there. Bit of storage underneath, bit of storage outboard there as well. Great compartment, does what it says on the tin. And if I just close that door, look to the starboard side here, you can see we've got a flag stowage, all sorts of little bits and pieces stored there. And here's the forward cabin, sort of the pièce de résistance really. We have an island berth in here. If I just step in and look to the starboard side, you can see we've got lots of room. We've got to step up to the starboard side and a climb into bed there. Cupboard, shelves, TV, a couple of opening windows down here as well for more light and ventilation. There's the big hatch up to the foredeck, and very similar on the port side, a window, shelf, a writing unit, I suppose you call it, or a bureau, and another big cupboard there, and a big mirror behind the port side there. If I just open this door open on the starboard side, we've got access to the ensuite. So we have the forwardmost head, so the other head would have been the day head. This is the ensuite. This head is pointing to us, so you'd be sitting here pointing towards the port aft side of the boat, or the port quarter. Lots of storage on the outboard side, nice sink unit here, and a lovely great big shower unit here actually. So yeah, really good, and not with any kind of boating compromise, and everything should disappear down that plug hole too. Really good. So let's exit this cabin. There's the look, there's the journey aft past the cabin, past the galley, and finishing off on the port side of the main saloon. You can see we've got a lovely, great big U-shaped saloon seat there. We've got lots of stowage underneath. We've got a nice big saloon table here, so lots of people can sit around. And of course, when you're sitting there, you've got the view through the raised deck saloon windows. That's what these boats are all about. So thanks for watching. This has been Tim, taking you for an extended tour around this 1990 Moody Eclipse. Thanks for watching and have a great day.